What's up, Miami Dolphins representatives? It's DADE here to give you my recap of the game against the New York Jets. We played them at 1 o'clock at the Meadowlands, and before that game, we was 3-1 coming off of a loss to the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 4 with Tua out because of a concussion that he suffered in that game after being swung to the ground by the defensive tackle, and he had to be carried out on the stretcher, and he's been in concussion protocol ever since then with no timetable for return. There's been a lot of chatter from a lot of different doctors and a lot of different concussion therapists, who give their 2 cents on what they think Tua should do. Some people think he should retire. Some people are saying that he's going to come back in a couple weeks. He just got to pass all of the MRIs and scans, which he has, and he got to pass all of the tests before he can come back. So Teddy Bridgewater was slated to start this game. The Jets, they've also had to deal with injuries as well, and things also didn't start as they planned. They would have wanted Zach Wilson to start every single game, but he didn't play the first 2 games. And, they've had to lean on vet Joe Flacco, who's pretty much a statue, with no mobility whatsoever. And they were 2-2 coming off of a win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Flacco did get them a win. I forget which team they played, but he did get them a win, and Zach Wilson won them the game against the Steelers. Now, you would think the Steelers being a tough, hard-nosed team, that was a credible win, but they having quarterback issues over there. Mitch Trubisky. Now they got Pickett in there, and Pickett, he's given them somewhat of a spark, but again, he don't have experience. He coming right out of college, and he just don't look like he's prepared for this NFL level right now. But we lost this game 17-40, which, if you look at the score, it looks like domination, but it was actually closer than it looks, especially when you compare some of the numbers. They did score 21 of their points, in the fourth quarter. We got to see a glimpse of Teddy Bridgewater, and I mean it was a bad glimpse of Teddy Bridgewater, and because he got hurt on a safety. And then we got to see a whole lot of Skywalker this game, as some of the fans like to call him, Skynet. They all these different names that they give some of these quarterbacks. And he was forced to play this whole game. He didn't have good velocity on his throws, I could tell you that. And the Jets DBs was pretty much playing duck hunt out there, trying to jump the routes whenever he threw it. And he played like a rookie. He played like a rookie, just like Kenny Pickett. And you could tell he don't have experience with beating disciplined, well-coached secondaries that got sound technique. This ain't Kansas State. This ain't Baylor. Even though Baylor done brought some DBs into the league who've been elite, Xavier Howard being one of them, still, this is, NFL talent is different from the talent that he come from. And, we had chances to get leads in this game, but I think that the Jets did a great job of attacking our weakness, which is the run defense, and they stuck with it. Props to both of the teams in New York and New Jersey. They should be called the Jersey Jets, but, it's 2 teams in New York, the New York Giants and the stinking New York Jets, who we all hate. And y'all see what Brian Daboll is doing with the Giants, pounding the football and pinballing. That's what he's doing. That's what the Jets are doing. And I told y'all in the previous video what they was going to be implementing. They say that Brian was implementing the Wildcat as well. They got Wan'Dale Robinson over there, and Saquon Barkley is finally looking like Saquon Barkley. I also told y'all that I thought Chris Greer should spend a draft pick to try to get Saquon, but we didn't end up doing that. But as you can see with the Jets, like I said, Robert Saleh is following suit with leaning on running the football. Chris Greer, he got it loaded over here for making smart moves in free agency and the draft. But I got to give props to Joe Douglas. I mean, the Jets, they've done a great job stockpiling picks and stockpiling talent over the last 2 years, doing basically some of the same things that we've been doing. And you could say Zach Wilson is still kind of a question mark. He's still a question mark. He's erratic with the football, and I don't think he has good vision of the field when he's going through his reads. It seemed like anytime we've gotten pressure on Zach Wilson, this game and last game, even though they won, this game, whenever we got pressure on him, he didn't make good throws. He was real inaccurate with the football. But you look at their skill positions at the running back and wide receivers positions, they're as good as any in the league. I mean, in my opinion, Breece the Beast Hall, who's related to former running back, former 49ers legend Roger Craig, who in my opinion is the best West Coast running back of all time. I would put Ricky Waters, Marshall Faulk, and I would say former Eagles running back Brian Westbrook on that list as well. But in this game, I saw a lot of Roger Craig in him in this game, and the past couple of games. And I was concerned about their running game, and it hurt us. It hurt us for sure. I've been watching Breece in college, and I wasn't really sure if it was going to translate, but it does. I mean, and Chris Greer, I hope you get Zach Charbonnet from UCLA. I think he's a little bit better than Breece Hall, or they about neck and neck. But we need a thumper type running back like that runs with power and that's fast and that can be used in the passing game, which the Jets did a great job of moving Breece around, not just as a runner, but also in the passing game as well. And he killed us in the passing game. Our defense got to get fixed, man. I mean, we entered this game 16th in points allowed, which is middle of the pack. But we probably going to drop the 20th, the lower after this game, because of how weak our defense played, not only against the run, even though it was a wash because we played good against the run, still, I want us to play good against the run and stop them from running the football. We're 30th in stopping teams on third down, pretty much dead last in the league. So, and again, y'all going to see on my segment, Numbers Lie, Numbers Don't. Numbers can lie, sometimes numbers cannot lie. I'm gonna go through those and let y'all know if I think those numbers are lying or not. Because even though we're 30th in the league in stopping teams on third down, we've also been getting turnovers. That's been helping us beat these teams. That's how we beat the Patriots, turnovers. So, we have a boom or bust type defense that's opportunistic, and we've been having that, if you think about it, with the last few defensive coordinators. Vance Joseph, his defense was like that. We got a lot of turnovers with Vance calling plays on defense, but we also gave up plays as well. Matt Burke, we gave up a lot of plays. We had to get rid of his ass, but he also called some turnovers when we had Sue, and he also gave us some opportunities to win some games. We also lost this game on special teams. I mean, their punter did a better job than ours, and we let Braxton Berrios outgain us in yards. I think we're missing a legit punt returner or kick returner, both. We missing both of those. Even with Tyreek Hill, that punt return, he ain't been making no plays. He been getting negative yardage. I think he had like -2 yardage this game. Raheem Mostert is fast. He got speed, elite speed, but he hasn't made a difference in the kicking game at all. And back last year, these last few years, Big O, I've heard him, talk about how he didn't like the communication of Flores and how he was communicating and stuff like that. He liked how, Mike McDaniel communicates better. But listen, Flores always stressed the same thing, the kicking game. And the kicking game is very important. I feel like we lost this game because of the kicking game. But we lost in all three phases, really. But let's break down the game. First quarter, defense is on the field first. Zach Wilson starts in a 3 wide receiver shotgun tight set with Elijah Moore in motion. And then Zach play actions to running back Michael Carter and fires a laser to Garrett Wilson, attacking the middle of our zone early for a gain of 11. And it seemed like they're trying to get that Wilson to Wilson law firm put together early. You know, they trying to get that shop open, you know, quick and fast and in a hurry. And we got to make sure and watch that, because if they build on that over this year and the next year, it's gonna be a problem for us to deal with. Corey Davis, he's good, and we've done a better job of keeping him in check. But Garrett Wilson from Ohio State he seemed like he's gonna be a beast. Next play, he completes a pass to Carter on a swing route, and I noticed this game in our 3-4 alignment that we started the game with Christian Wilkins at right end, Raekwon Davis at nose tackle, and Emmanuel Ogbah at left end. And y'all let me know what y'all think. I wonder why Boyer don't have Wilkins at the nose. Why is he not playing nose tackle? I mean, I thought, you know, he would be most effective over the center. Seemed like he's athletic enough to stop the run in both gaps, have Raekwon Davis rotate with him at the nose, and put Melvin Ingram at the edge instead of having him at linebacker. I mean, the coaches that are more, you know, they more experienced than me. Obviously, I'm just a fan. I'm just a spectator and an analyzer of the film and an analyzer of the game. But obviously, they know better than me. But it seemed like to me, Christian Wilkins would be better at the nose and have Melvin Ingram and Emmanuel Ogbah, you know, as the rushes off the edge. At linebacker, we started Jalen Phillips at outside linebacker, Elandon Roberts in the middle, Jerome Baker in the middle, and then Melvin Ingram at outside linebacker. Like I said, since I decided to move Melvin from the linebacker rotation and putting him on the edge, I'm going to slide Jerome Baker at his spot on the outside and put Channing Tindall next to Elandon Roberts, not just for his speed downhill, but also so he can learn from Elandon. So we'll have him and Elandon man in that middle. I've been seeing some improvement from him, and I've been seeing the speed that we noticed from him at Georgia on tape. I like the play that Roberts made on second down, stopping the run for 1 yard gain, and we forced a 3 and out. But like I said, they punt a B-man hurt us with a high accurate punt to place the ball inside the 5 yard line, and then they coverage unit got down there and did a good job against us. And B-man's longest punt this season is 59 yards, and he averages 45.7 yards per game on boots. And that punt led the safety that put, you know, Teddy B out for the rest of the game, and that put them up 0-2. We punted the ball, and Berrios puts them in good field position. So far this season, we've been playing, like I said, shitty in the kicking game. Right now, we 27th in kickoff return, 24th in punt return, last in kickoff coverage. Crossman, what the hell is you doing? What are you doing? And we missed Jakeem Grant. Jakeem Grant won us a lot of games and put us in positions to come back in different games. And we're noticing his absence right now. That needs to change. At 10 minutes and 32 seconds, we forced a 3 and out. Jets punted. Offense gets the ball. Skylar Thompson's in. Bridgewater's to the locker room. They say he got elbow and head injuries. Later declared out because of concussion protocol, like I said. Skylar under center, underthrows a bomb attempt to Tyreek that drew a pass interference call, which was good. It put us ahead of the sticks, but that was a duck that he threw, man. That was a terrible pass. Next play, Skylar threw the ball too hard on an open curl route. 3rd and 20, he threw a duck on a bomb attempt to Trent Sherfield, almost intercepted. And then we had to punt. Defense gets on the field. Melvin Ingram, he grabbed the face mask of Breece Hall on the outside pursuit. And you could tell he tried to let it go, but he held on too long, and that put them at the 40. Next play, Raekwon Davis beats his man on what looked like a sack, but you know, and he was lit after that. You know, he got real good pursuit on his, you know, got right through his man, but they called it back because it was an offsides penalty. Next play, I noticed Ogbah beats the left tackle and gets pressure on Wilson to force a high throw to the back of the end zone, incomplete, and that forced the Jets to kick a field goal to make it 0-5. Offense gets on the field. Skylar's second drive. toss play for 4 yards. I like that play. Next play, 5 wide jailbreak screen to Hill for no gain. Then Skylar completes a pass short of the first down, and then we had to punt. Another 3 and out. Defense gets on the field. Zach throws a rope to Breece Hall, who ran and beat our defender on a wheel route, takes it all the way to the 1 yard line. Tremendous effort by him. Javon Holland and Kader Kohu, they tried to bring him down, but they couldn't bring him down. Second quarter, Jets running back Michael Carter runs it in for a touchdown to make it 0-12. 13 minutes and 30 seconds, pass interference call on an out attempt to Tyreek Hill. And then we get another toss play for 3 yards. 2nd and 7, we run to the right side with Mostert. And then we also try to reverse to Hill. And that was a good play for first down. And then I also like that jet sweep to Mostert to the right for touchdown. That put us, that made the score 7-12. So we looking like we got a chance to come back at this point. You know, we down by pretty much a touchdown, and a touchdown would have made it 14-12. So let's see if the defense could stop them. Ball at the 25, 9 minutes and 32 seconds. I like the play that from Jerome Baker. He had good coverage on a bomb attempt at Conklin. Ingram applied good pressure on that play, and then you could see Zach Wilson was pretty much backpedaling off, and he tried to throw off his back foot. Good pressure by Melvin Ingram. Zach Seiler also provided good pressure. Almost got a strip sack on this series. And then you seen Channing Tindall with a solid tackle on 3rd down to force the Jets to punt. Offense gets back on the field. At 8 minutes and 42 seconds, it was a nice run by Mostert. And then Skylar messes that up and throws a pick to Sauce Gardner. So rookie mistake, I get it, but you got to see the field. And it just seemed like this game, like preseason, it seemed like he had a little bit more zip on his passes. This game, I don't know if it was because of the wind. It just didn't seem like he had good zip on his throws. Like, it seemed like Sauce Gardner could have telegraphed that. I mean, he could have saw that from a mile, in slow motion. Defense gets on the field. Breece the Beast Hall drove them down the field in the red zone. I like the tackle from Elandon Roberts. He's always good around the goal line. I noticed that on in multiple different games, but we wasn't able to stop him. Zach Wilson scrambles in for touchdown to make it 7-19. Offense gets on the field. Raheem Mostert had another long run. Raheem Mostert just kept us in this game pretty much damn near all by himself. Skylar throws a would-be touchdown to Raheem Mostert, but he stepped out of bounds at the 2. And then Smythe ran it in on the trick play. I like this play. Skylar was acting like he couldn't hear. He was going like this. And then Durham got under center and sneaked it in to make it 14-19. So I'm feeling good about it. Even though Skylar's not throwing the ball the way we saw him in preseason, where Mike McDaniel was doing a good job of calling plays to kind of not give him a lot on his plate. Because let's face it, we didn't expect Skylar to even play this game. It was really, the game plan was for Teddy. I'm not sure how many snaps Skylar got in practice, so I'm pretty sure it's going to look different if Skylar has to play the next game against the Vikings. Third quarter, Mostert busts one for 20 yards. And then I like the toss play to the right and the stretch run to Gaskin. I think we need to run the stretch a little bit more. I'm not sure why we're not running with Chase Edmonds. We're not running no stretch plays to Chase Edmonds over the last game or two. We ran a toss play to Edmonds. And then 3rd and 5, Skylar was inaccurate and underthrew a check down pass, and we had to kick a field goal 17-19. Accuracy got to be better. Defense gets back on the field at 5 minutes and 55 seconds. I noticed 3rd and 2, we had a good stop by Seiler. Nick Needham also had good coverage on Corey Davis to stop them on 4th down. That was a real good stop. and the offense got back on the field with a chance to now kind of get some more traction in this game. But Thompson got sacked by Quinnen Williams, and that forced a 3-and-out. Defense, Brandon Jones got a safety blitz sack for loss to make it 3rd and long, and the Jets ended up punting. Fourth quarter, Greg Little got beat at times by Franklin Myers, he caused a lot of disruption for us, and he made it difficult sometimes, for I think Skylar Thompson to really step into his throws. That's another part of why Skylar wasn't really looking like he was supposed to look. Underthrown bomb to Waddle caused a pass interference call. Again, I'm glad we got the call, but it was a bad pass by Skylar. And then Jason Sanders missed the kick that would have made it even closer. Jason Sanders, man, we may need to look for another kicker, man, or find some competition for Jason, because he's been making some kicks when he's supposed to, and he has helped us win some games, but he hasn't really been clutch. Like, we need a clutch kicker, I feel like. 9 minutes and 22 seconds, Michael Carter runs it in at the goal line for a touchdown to put him up 25 to our 17. Offense gets a 4th down stop, and then the game just pretty much got out of control from there. There's no need for me to say no more of the play-by-play. I mean, we got our ass whooped pretty much, 17-40. Let's take a look at the game stats. Our passing attack was lackluster. Skylar Thompson completed 19 of 33 passes, 5-yard average per pass. He missed opportunities to complete passes down the field, and honestly, like I said, his passes just looked awful at times. No touchdowns, 1 interception. We had our best performance of the season so far on the ground. Mostert was making plays on the gridiron today on that game. He led the unit with 18 carries for 113 yards, 6.3 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. His longest rush was 24 yards. Raheem, he was getting real close to bust. I think he's gonna bust one for about 40 yards in the next game or two, and he's been getting close. The running game is coming along. It's something to build upon, but I got some things that I think I got some ideas on how we can make the running game even more effective. But we leaned on him a lot this game, and he was explosive and shifty on toss runs and stretch runs. Overall, we got 8 rushing first downs. Jets also got 8 rushing first downs, so that was kind of a wash. Our receivers wasn't the strength of the team this game, and I can't really say that the Jets DBs were the reason for that. I can't really say they held us in check, but our numbers just wasn't eye-popping from, any of the one players like the Cheetah or the Penguin. Tyreek led all pass catches with 7 wrecks for 47 yards. He caught all his targets, but his longest gain was only 13 yards. Mike Gesicki only had 1 catch for 30 yards, only targeted twice. Gaskin, Waddle, and Cedric Wilson all had 3 catches or less. And then Mostert, Smythe, and Sherfield all had 1 catch. And I've read the comments on Facebook. I've read the comments on social media. And I've also noticed it when I rewatched the film. There were some drops this game. But I will say some of them were because of bad placement. Others, they just should have been caught. That pass to tight end Tanner Connor is one of the passes that should have been caught that comes to mind. That would have put us at the 30, I believe. That would if you want to stay on this team, and I hope you do stay on this team so we can utilize that track speed, you got to make those type of plays. To all the fans that want to cry about the O-line and blame the O-line, Thompson got sacked twice, but for only 8 yards, which I think that matters. The Jets did get 16 quarterback hits on us, though, so that is concerning. 7 of those came from Carl Lawson, and 5 came from John Franklin Myers. And Quinnen Williams also was causing ruckus in there with 2 quarterback hits. Like I said, Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas, they've done a good job of, I can't say we're better than them up front. on the D-line. We got 8 first downs to their 9 through the air. So in my opinion, I think the O-line played well enough for us to win. On defense, I know fans want to blame the defense, but the Jets had almost identical numbers as us. The only thing that they edged us on was quarterback hits. That's really it. Other than that, they had about the same amount of tackles, same amount of solo tackles. So Sauce Gardner's hit was pretty much the one that hurt us the most, really. And that was the one that put Bridgewater out of commission. Even though they say he cleared concussion protocol, they held him out because of the new rules, because of the panic from Tua going down and being in concussion protocol. We only hit Zach Wilson 3 times, which that needs to improve. Christian Wilkins, where you at, man? Raekwon Davis, yeah, you made that one good play that got called back because of a penalty. Other than that, the rest of the game, you was missing in action, my dude. You gotta start making some quarterback hits. Yeah, I mean that's real talk. I would say their running game was way more effective than ours. Even though it looks even, numbers do lie, which I'm going to talk about. Breece Hall had 18 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown. Michael Carter also scored 2 touchdowns. So they had a thunder and lightning type tandem that worked well against our defense and opened up some gashes. Zach Wilson's numbers were not that good. He played about as bad as Skylar Thompson. And I would say safety Brandon Jones was probably the best player for us on defense with 9 tackles, 5 solo, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 quarterback hit. But again, Braxton Berrios had 61 yards in return yards. We had no return yards. So that's a big part of why we lost this game. Here's my big fish ballers of the week. Raheem Mostert makes this list. Tyreek Hill makes the list, even though he didn't really play like the cheetah that we know. Durham Smythe makes this list for helping to create lanes in the run game. Safety Brandon Jones makes this list. Linebacker Landon Roberts makes the list. Christian Wilkins makes this list. Cornerback Nick Needham and I would say cornerback Kader Kohu makes this list because we were injured. We did not have Xavier Howard this game. Obviously, we know Byron Jones this game. We just been banged up like just over these last couple weeks. I'm hoping that we can get some relief, man. We need some guys to come back. Jerome Baker makes this list. Next game, we play the Minnesota Vikings at home. I think this is a game that we could win at home, even though we seem like we're struggling right now. Again, there's no timetable for return on when Tua is going to come back. Hopefully, we find out some more news over the next coming days. But that's all I got for y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about the game. Let me know what y'all thought about Skylar Thompson. I know y'all was high on him. Some of y'all thought that he should start over Tua. Do y'all still think that now? Do y'all think that Teddy Bridgewater coming back is going to lead to a victory against Minnesota? Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Till next time, signing off, TBFN.